Alright, since I made a promise to cover every single Toa update this year, here we go! This is the second one of 2026, and there's a lot to uncover with this one. 2 new cookies, a legendary gacha, new game mode, and other random miscellaneous mechanics. Oh yeah, the story! Oh boy, the story! Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about the characters, because oh boy, I have a lot to say about them. We got a sneak peek of these two back before Melon Cream's update was dropped, and it seems like it's gonna be a reboot of Marbleberry's little update. I forgot what it was. It was like Tower Arena? No, it was like the one game mode where you were able to get rainbow cubes. I forgot what it's called. God damn it me. I was actually pretty excited for this update because of Marbleberry Cookie. I love Marbleberry Cookie. She's like one of my favorite cookies. And we got a sneak peek at the other 2 cookies. This one is kind of giving strawberry vibes, and this one, I'm not gonna lie, something about this cookie clicked with me, and I couldn't figure out why. And given that it's hard to see what this cookie looks like, I just waited for the next live stream to get a closer look at their design. Eventually, their names were revealed to be Shining Berry and Neon Danish. Let's start off by talking about Shining Berry first. Okay, getting this out of the way, Shining Berry Cookie is Strawberry Cookie's avatar. Strawberry Cookie is in Tower of Adventures, guys. It's just that she got a glow up. Awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really do like Shining Berry's character. She's practically a legendary player, and she's really embarrassed by it, which, so real. But I also like that we actually get to see Strawberry Cookie express herself in a much more different way, because Strawberry Cookie is usually a very timid and shy girl who has a really strong passion for gaming. I love Strawberry Cookie. She's honestly my favorite out of Gingerbrave's little group. But here as Shining Berry, she becomes a much more confident character. I'm happy for Strawberry Cookie able to express herself in a way that, you know, she wants to be. And I will say, playing as Shining Berry is different than any other cookie because she doesn't have a cooldown. You wanna know what she has? A meter bar. Okay, when you play a Shining Berry cookie, you can only use your ultimate or skill depending on the amount of MP you have. Shining Berry does not have a cooldown, although her MP does regenerate over time. It's a new playstyle, and it's definitely very complicated if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, when I first played as Shining Berry, I did not know what the fuck I was doing. But I will not lie, she's pretty fun to play as. I start off with the skill and then do the ultimate. That's basically my strategy, but I'm not sure if there's like a particular strategy to use with Shining Berry. Okay, now on to Neon Danish, and... She's pretty. She's very pretty. I don't know why. I fucking love Neon Danish. She's easily one of my favorite Toa cookies. She became #1 like literally in less than a day. I don't know why. This stupid fucking purple cat just practically has a chokehold on me. Who knew Lavender and Cyan would work so well together? It's just genuinely really beautiful. What's funny is that a lot of people thought that she was gonna have prominent cat ears, when in reality, she does not. That's her bow! Man, they really pulled a Red House Mantis with us, didn't they? Though it seems like her tail is actually real, so it makes me wonder, where are her cat ears? I have a lot of things to say about her character, and one of them is literally in her description. She's basically in a dark room surrounded by monitors, and she basically stays up until dawn. I feel like this is a call-out. That's me. That is literally me. I am in my room, alone in the dark, and I don't stay up until dawn. Yes, I am fully well aware my sleep schedule is ass. Other things you should know about Neon Danish is that she's the CEO of Doe Games and the one who created the Tower game. She's Marbleberry's boss. Not even Marbleberry knew until much later in the story. Though it makes sense given that, according to her bio, Neon Danish doesn't really show who she is in public. Not even her employees know what she looks like. To the point they just think that she's just a bread cat behind the screen. And that is actually funny as hell. Hell, her idle animation with Shining Berry literally has her sending an image of a cat bread. I'm willing to bet that she captioned it, "This is me, lol." If I were to describe Neon Danish's character, I will say she has a bit of an ego, often calling herself a genius, and is very laid back. This often makes her appear very arrogant and full of herself, but she means well. I'm not gonna lie, she kinda reminds me of Lemon Zest. Except the difference is that Lemon Zest is a nepo baby, and she just has an ego. Another thing to note about Neon Danish is that she's the first light buffer. Let's go! I am so happy we finally have one! Wait, what? you're telling me there was a life buffer? No, it's not like we have one or anything. I don't think we have one. Neon Danish is the first one. And it was about damn time too. I was waiting for my light team to have a buffer. It took them like over 1 year to finally put one in the game. Now, in terms of playstyle, Neon Danish functions very similar to that of Shining Berry. But the interesting twist is that Neon Danish has a bit of an on and off switch with her ultimate. When you use Neon Danish's attack, she attaches onto an enemy. I want to clarify that always use Neon Danish for bosses. She cannot handle multiple enemies because her ultimate can hit like a tank and, well, you practically just lost it right there. Anyways, when you use her ultimate attack on a boss, you have the option to turn it off, allowing you to save MP. I do find using her ultimate very confusing, mainly because, well, I don't know what the strategy is. I'm not really that inverse with the meta and shit, so yeah. Though I do want to say that there's one thing I find very interesting about Neon Danish, and that's she can heal and shield. Her skill provides a protective barrier, and holding down the attack button allows her to heal. But it does waste MP. Keep that in mind. It's honestly interesting to see a character that is not only a shielder, but a healer. Though the one downside is that Neon Danish cannot heal herself. Regardless, I really do love Neon Danish, and I quickly grew attached to her. Surely nothing bad will happen to her. Now let's talk about the game mode where you have to play in order to beat the story. Virus Vanquisher basically has you killing a bunch of bosses and that's it. There are 6 levels and each one gets progressively much more harder with much more stricter rules. I don't really care about this game mode. All I care about is the story. Yeah, that's it. Although I will say that the rewards are pretty good. It does give you like, what, over 6,000 crystals when you manage to get to level 5? Or like complete level 4 or 5? So, it's at least worth playing. Honestly, I don't mind this game mode, but I do wish there was more substance to it. Before we move on to the story, I forgot to mention this earlier. Can we talk about this new shitty-ass layout? I fucking hated it. As cluttered as the old one is, it got the job done. Here, it just makes it 10 times more confusing. With that taken care of, let's talk about the story. Because oh boy. I wasn't expecting to see this cunty motherfucker sooner than I expected. And immediately, the first thing we see is that they're reading an article of some kind talking about the Tower Reboot series. And you want to know what this cunty little diva does? They place a virus in the game. I find it very funny that the embodiment of pestilence, you know, known for pandemics, sickness, viruses, to place a computer virus in a video game. And then we get to see Marbleberry preparing to make sure that everything goes smoothly for the opening of this game. And immediately Code Red hits. She goes inside the game to see a bunch of virus enemies attacking players and infecting them, causing them to turn into zombies, or the equivalent of zombies. So yeah, we go from 0 to 100 real quick, real nice. This is just an average day in Cookie Run, get used to it. Soon enough, Marbleberry gets herself in some hot water, but thankfully someone has saved her. The legend herself, Shining Berry. Marbleberry asks Shining Berry for some assistance, and their new goal is to destroy the virus core. Eventually down the line, they pick up Neon Danish, get a sample of the virus, and eventually reach the virus core. And apparently, the little virus core resembles that of the Sugar Star? The fuck? You know what, I'm just not gonna question it at this point in time. Things are getting a little heated, and surely everything is going perfectly fine, and I am not okay. Thank you, Depth Sisters, for taking a character that I grew emotionally attached to and stabbing them in the chest. I really appreciate it. And you know what? Despite getting literally shot in the chest with malware, she's not upset. She's not scared. Oh, in fact, it was the exact opposite. Essentially, Neon Danish getting shot with malware was the perfect sample she needed to understand its coding, and thus get rid of it. Mostly. However, at the end, Neon Danish sends Shining Berry and Marbleberry back to the lobby in order to protect them, leaving her behind since, she was infected with the virus, and she was worried that, she might actually attack them. But she won't be going down that easily. So yeah, Marbleberry and Shining Berry start recruiting people to get rid of the rest of the infected players and stuff. I'm not really good when it comes to summarizing shit, but I hope this gives you a better understanding of it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this in the recap. Apparently, the virus that's in-game could have a chance of leaking out into the real world. I don't know how that's possible, but apparently it can. I'm just assuming that since Neon Danish was affected by it, she could sense that it's actually having a real-life effect on her own body. So she didn't want that to be the case. I really do hope we have a follow-up story, because I swear to God, if we don't know what happened to Neon Danish after that, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be really devastated. In fact, I was already devastated when she got shot. It's never confirmed if she's dead or alive. Enough with the story. Let's talk about something else that I actually was happy to see return. Champions Raid. Oh boy, how I miss you, my beloved. What's even better is, it was 6-player Champions Raid. And what was even better is that when you do Champions Raid, you get Rainbow Cubes. 10 out of 10, best update in the game. Another thing they added was the new tower level up system. I don't have much to say about this since I didn't really get to experience much of it because I had a high level, you know, being a veteran player and all. Though, there were some quests that I did complete, and I did it in one sitting, and I got all those sweet rewards. Those rewards are great, I appreciated it. I felt like I was being pampered, like the little bastard that I was. And seeing that we're practically done with literally the majority of everything I covered in this update, let's talk about the future updates. These teasers were shown to us during the live stream where they were showcasing Shining Berry and Neon Danish's update. So, Editor Volapin here. Before this segment starts off, I want to clarify that this audio was recorded before the Dev Now live stream, and let's just say, I ended up being right about something. We'll talk about that later after this segment. And as much as I would love to talk about Phoenix Pepper and Mellow Longshi from what we saw from the recent livestream, because yes, I am recording this after the Toa livestream, I think it's best for me to save that content for their video, which is like the next one. So, I'll be back. I'll let the video play out, and then I'll come back, okay? This is for the May update. I'm assuming it's early May, like late April to early May, but this update's gonna be about Cream Soda School. I am hyped up as hell, and you know what? I'm not sure if we're gonna get actual story related to Cream Soda, given that she's not at her school. But I'm excited regardless, since I do think that out of all the Toa cookies, Cream Soda, well, at least in Toa, is kind of underbaked. In Oven Break? Oh, she's great. She's so great in Oven Break. She's like the biggest green flag I have ever met. I would love to be that girl's friend. And especially how she interacts with Cherry Cola. It's perfect. I love them. I love Cream Soda in Crop. I just kind of think that in Tower of Adventure, she's just kind of lacking that same charm that she has in Oven Break. We were shown some concept art. Some of them consist of locations, uniform, and some potential cookie designs. I also did a little bit of translating. Also, this is just something I need to say. Never trust Google Translate. It could be good in a pinch, but never trust it. And some of these translations I got were, you know, the label of the locations. This seems to be some kind of graduation ceremony. This uniform is actually an optional choice, but it is mandatory in some occasions, which explains why Cream Soda is often seen in her usual sailor uniform. Well, it's not necessarily a uniform. I'm assuming it's a uniform. I don't know. And again, I must emphasize this. God damn, is Cream Soda School luxurious as hell? I am just confused. I don't know what type of school this is. I'm assuming it's a college because Cream Soda says you can practically learn anything at the Royal Cookie Academy. So, I don't know. I just have to take her word. But then again, this was the same cookie who said that anyone could be at the Royal Cookie Academy. Yet Cherry Cola is not at her school. Also, how is she able to attend the school? Is she on scholarship? Is her parents paying for this? I don't know. Again, the education system in the Cookie Run universe, it is very, very confusing. So, I think it's best for me to not dwell on it. You wanna know one thing that I thought of when I saw this? What will the story be about? I'm assuming it has something to do with Cream Soda's absence, since, you know, she is the student council president of the Royal Cookie Academy. But I have an idea that I think would actually work so hard. It honestly is everything I could dream of. Cherry Cola Cookie. To anyone who has not seen the Sun Tournament, aka the update where Cream Soda got into Krob, Cherry Cola is her childhood friend. She very much so thinks of Cream Soda very highly and scared of losing her as a friend. Cherry Cola is also a very powerful swordsman cookie because of the fact that she has darkness in her heart. That essentially makes her have the zoomies and also becomes a ticking time bomb. I'm not joking about that. She literally blew up part of her school one time and nearly destroyed an entire coliseum by summoning a whole cola storm because she went into a mental spiral. Yep, welcome to Krob, it's crazy as hell. I highly recommend checking out the Sun Tournament because Cream Soda is genuinely such a sweet character. Like, she's so respectful of Cherry Cola's boundaries and doesn't push them. She always wants to make sure that she's safe, comfortable, and it's just so wholesome. I love their friendship. And also, get this, they became friends because Cream Soda saw Cherry Cola dual-wielding swords, and she thought she was like the coolest cookie ever and asked to be friends. That's just so wholesome. I love Crab cream soda, that I really do wish that Towa cream soda had more substance to her. Another thing you also do need to know about cream soda is that she often sends letters to her friends. You see where I'm going with this? So imagine this, from Cherry Cola's perspective. All of a sudden, cream soda stops sending letters. She has not been receiving them for, like, a while. And Cherry Cola, okay, let's be real here, she probably would start panicking. She probably would start overthinking everything, thinking that she might have said something, and then she's just, you know, feeling like that cream soda just cut her off. But then eventually she realized that cream soda is not that type of cookie to abandon her friends so suddenly. So she came to the conclusion that something might have happened to cream soda cookie. So she decided to take matters into her own hands. The Royal Cookie Academy's aesthetic is very much so blue and white. Now imagine having Cherry Cola in that environment when her color palette is literally black and red. Visual contrast is gonna be amazing if, you know, if that ends up being true. I highly doubt that Cherry Cola is going to be in the update because, you know, we haven't had a crab cookie or like a cookie outside of Towa enter Towa since like Peach Cookie. But I'm still holding out hope because in my heart, Cherry Cola is a Towa cookie. I don't care what anyone says. She's a Towa cookie in my heart. So please, I would love to see her added in this update. This is like literally the perfect opportunity to add Cherry Cola into Tower of Adventures. Okay, Editor Volopin back here again. So yeah, I ended up being right that Cherry Cola was going to be added in the May update. Holy fuck, they revealed this in the Dev Now livestream, and when I saw that, I deadass screamed. I was so happy. I was so happy that my body physically felt like I was having an anxiety attack. Regardless, I am very happy that Cherry Cola is in Tower of Adventures, because, like I said before, I think I said this, in my heart, Cherry Cola is a Towa cookie. That just happens to be an oven break. And also, I actually waited to see the livestream, the Towa livestream, to see if they were going to show some things about Cherry Cola or like the update. And, well, lo and behold, we got a reference sheet. She got a minor redesign, and it actually looks so good. Like, it's subtle, but it makes the difference. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that Cherry Cola's design was kind of bland, but that's fine by me. As an artist, I like simple designs, but this just makes it look so much better. And also, the best part is that she is confirmed to be a dark element. Around the upper left corner, you can see a dark tagger symbol. However, the only two taggers that are on the screen are Twisted Donut and Cherry. So who's this? Cherry Cola. And logically, it does make sense. To anyone who has not seen the Sun Tournament, I'll explain this here. I'm not sure if I explained it there, but if I do, I'll just edit this in. Cherry Cola has darkness inside her heart. This was revealed when her and Dark Choco were having a one-on-one fight. And he senses that something's up with Cherry Cola and even asks if this was like something that she was born with or she gained it through unnatural means. It's never specified which one it is, but I'm willing to lean towards the fact that she was likely cursed with this. That's just my theory. It's never confirmed. But who knows, maybe we can get some solid confirmation in the May update. But for now, I just gotta keep speculating. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So we can get back to the video now. Regardless, this update was honestly a pretty decent one. Not the best, but in terms of its characters, it's just S tier. And the story is pretty good. I do think the game mode is kinda bland, but it's serviceable and also gives out gems, so I will take it. And Champions Raid is always a blast to see again. So I guess that's all I have to say. Well, actually, no, I have a few life updates to talk about, so if you want to leave at this point in time, then feel free to. I'm not forcing you to say. So, I'm just gonna go on a bit of a yapping session while I have some gameplay in the background. So, it's been a while, hasn't it? And I do apologize. I did put in a community tab post that my PC, well, it's cooked. Very much so cooked. I was going through the 5 stages of grief, and eventually I just accepted the fact that, yeah, my PC's dead, which was kind of inevitable given that it was a decades old. And although I will say this, I find it funny that a decades old PC was able to handle Tower of Adventures better than my phone can. Honestly, that's kind of concerning about the optimization of this game, but let's not worry about that. So essentially, I had to build a new PC, which I did. It was definitely expensive as hell, but thankfully I had my mom and my brother help me out with it. I really do appreciate it, guys. And I am so happy with my new PC. It is so smooth. I have never seen such smoother gameplay in my entire life when playing Tower of Adventures again. And even though I wasn't able to edit, I was able to record audio on a small laptop. And looking back on it, I kind of wish I didn't because, well, a lot has happened since February. I'm not gonna worry about that. Once I finish this video and upload it, I'm probably gonna get started on Phoenix Pepper and Malalongshi's update. Will I speedrun it like I did with this one? Probably not. Although when I got my PC back, I practically was so excited that I just went straight to editing. I had so much fun editing this video, although it was a bit laggy, but I think it's just the honey sprites caused so much lag for my PC that I might have to figure out how to not have that happen. Regardless, I will get their update video out probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm not gonna speedrun it though, because one, I really do not wanna, ruin my health, and two, I'm actually employed. I have a job now, and I know that's probably gonna take my time off making videos. Though, I'm not gonna lie, most of the time I just procrastinate on my videos. I'm just gonna be fully honest. Aside from that, I want to say a huge thank you to Callisti Arts / Toasty Mochi for helping me make this video. She helped me a lot with some of the video footages for the Virus Vanquisher and Champions Raid specifically, and even the April Fool's event that happened in Phoenix Pepper's update. I wasn't able to record it, so I asked if she could do it, and she gladly accepted it. I do apologize if this video is kind of poor quality because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a little rusty, so I'm not back into the groove of editing. But that doesn't change the fact that I am back in action, so I hope to make more content in the future. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Take care, everyone.